Okay, there's been some question on how I do these old patterns. This is a page out of one of the catalogs. So I'll select this page, and we're going to do this one right here in the center. So the first thing I do is I grab these nodes out here, and I get it down to where the only thing I have left is that picture off of the page. And that way I'm not dealing with all the other garbage. Okay, then I come up and do effects and adjust brightness and contrast, and I unlock it so that I can see it as I go, and I turn this into a gray so that I can see it. Now I can see my lines over the gray, so we'll tell that okay, and we'll accept the picture there. Then I come and make a second layer that I can draw on, because now on layer 1 that picture's on, I can shut it off, the fact that I can't select it, and I can even turn the picture off. Then I draw on layer 2. Alright, now I just zoom into an area and I decide where I want to start. Let's get the hand tool. Let's go up here to the top and start up there. Okay, this pattern reverses itself, so we really only need to draw one side. So we can see here we got a long stem, so I've got to draw just over the center line, and for that I can actually just go in and make a double line and then select it, convert it to curves, and then I can pull one of those lines out. And by where you pull on the line, if it's getting too wide here, you can come in and make a double click on that and it'll add a node. Then you need to turn that node to a cusp. Then you can go ahead and pull this up and get it set down to where you're happy with the size of the stem. Now remember, we're only drawing one side. Okay, so then we'll come in here and let's draw one of these leaves. Actually, I like the leaf on the other side better, but we're going to go here. And I only need to come back, and it's going to be attached to that stem eventually. So I can turn that to curves, and we'll come up here with that, and we'll come in here with a little bow, and we'll come out here with a little bow. And see, that's actually going to touch that, so okay, so that's good. Now we can weld that leaf to this piece. So we've got the leaf in there. Now let's come up and start on this top piece, and from there I can come down here and go up. Like I say, you're going to go a little bit past center, down here. Looking at the other side over here, I see this is supposed to go clear up, curve back down and touch that leaf, and then come back to here. So we'll go in and we'll marquee select that and convert those to curves. And now we've got this rocked up. Let's put another node in here just for the heck of it, and cusp that node, and so that I can kind of get this rounded off a little bit. Whoops, I went too far. A lot of times you need to zoom clear in to see what you're doing, and is what I was trying to do was get this up here so that I could kind of make a point to that leaf, and then I will rock that around until I get happy with the way the point of that leaf is going. And then I can come on down, and then this one is actually bowed down, so now we can weld that to this. Then we'll come on down and we'll make this scrolly flower thing here, and I'll just come in here and I'll just drop some nodes around it. And even though it does have this extra curl on it, I pretty much try to do them one section at a time, so that I can get the flow of everything going better. So now we can come in here and we can drop this. We can round this out. Normally I'd take more time trying to get some of these curves rounded out per se. But we would come around here and we would get this flowing to where we thought we had a nice, perfect curl to it. And as you can see, you're only using the original pattern as kind of an outline or a guide, I guess you would say. And see, by pulling high on that, I can get that to go up. Now if I pull down here on this end, I can get that just to bend down. And that looks like a pretty decent leaf there. So let's go ahead and weld that to, well, I guess I didn't get it over the center. Okay, so it's not going to weld. So we need to come down here. Whoops. We need to come down here and grab this one and kind of pull it just a little bit more to the inside so that they overlap. Now I can weld that to that. Now we notice here that they're connected, so I need to come in here with I guess with just a little stem off of there, so I can come back here like this and draw in a little stem, as we can kind of see there, and then I can weld that to the rest of the leaf. Then I can come down and finish off this one, and it comes down here, as we can see, and around and down and back up. And you always make these as complete forms. And then we would just come off of here with a nice flow, come down here, keep flowing it around. Now we're going to make our round ball or whatever at the end here. And it's just a tedious process of going in and just keep pulling on these lines and working them until you're happy with them. This looks like it almost bows out too much, but I guess that's the way it was. And then that we can weld to this. Okay, so now we've got half of the pattern done. Oh, this we want to weld to this too. Okay, so we've got half of the pattern drawn there, and so we can do a control duplicate, and then we can flip that around, mirror image it, and bring that pattern back in here and kind of overlay it on this side. And then I do a shift key and select the other one, hit T for top, and then you take this one and weld it to this one. And if you did things right, okay, now see right here in the middle, I didn't do things quite right, so I need to get rid of that line in the middle. And once we select the nodes, I can just start hitting the minus key and deleting nodes until that pattern disappears. So now if we color that, let's just throw a color on it. I've got that much of it drawn, and you just keep going down and just keep adding little line segments and drawing and going and drawing and going until you complete the whole pattern. But where it's a mirror image on both sides, I can only draw one side, flip that over, and get the other side drawn. And that's the way you do the old patterns.